The Beets family has long been synonymous with success in the gold mining industry, yet for years, no one anticipated what was coming. While his well-known father, Tony Beets, built an empire, and his siblings took leadership roles, Mike Beets remained in the shadows. He was the quiet force behind the machines, the one who kept the gears turning, until one moment changed everything. Unlike his more visible siblings, Mike avoided the limelight. While Tony's fortune swelled to $15 million, Mike, the heavy machinery expert, toiled away in the unforgiving Yukon, earning a fraction of his father's wealth. He was the backbone of the operation, maneuvering multi-million-dollar equipment, ensuring the business ran seamlessly. Yet, despite his relentless work, his net worth remained a mere $200,000, a stark contrast to his family's fortune. The Beets family wasn't like other mining operations with corporate boardrooms and investors. They were built on risk, grit, and sheer determination. Tony's dream of gold mining, born from his move from the Netherlands to Canada, demanded his children work as hard as any laborer. For Mike, that meant grueling hours, brutal conditions, and an expectation to perform without excuses. By his late teens, he was a master of heavy machinery, operating dredges, and maintaining multi-million-dollar equipment like a seasoned pro. Yet, despite his skills, Mike remained a worker, not a boss. While Kevin and Monica took on leadership roles, Mike kept the mine running, moving colossal machines, transporting gold-rich earth, and fixing any problem that arose. His salary of $500,000 per mining season, though respectable, was nowhere near what his father and brother made from the business's profits. However, Mike was more than just a miner. Away from the Yukon's icy landscapes, he engaged in a completely different kind of battle, full-contact medieval combat. Donning a 60-pound suit of armor, he fought in brutal, real-life sword fights. Unlike his father and brother, whose sole focus was mining, Mike found his passion in a medieval world, trading gold pans for steel blades. It was an unconventional contrast, but it was part of what made him unique. Yet, life in the Yukon wasn't without conflict. Mike and Tony's relationship was often strained. Tensions flared when a critical mining operation went south. A catastrophic event threatened to cost the Beets family a fortune. One wrong move, and they could have lost everything. It happened when Mike was transporting a $300,000 wash plant, one of the most vital pieces of equipment in gold mining. The plan was simple: load the 25-ton plant onto a trailer, drive it 20 miles, and set it up at Dominion Creek. A job that should have taken just a few hours turned into a nightmare. The journey started smoothly, but then disaster struck. A chain securing the massive wash plant snapped. In an instant, the entire structure tipped over. Dust filled the air as the massive machine crashed into the rugged Yukon terrain. Mike must have felt his stomach drop. The wash plant lay on its side, partially buried in gravel, a $250,000 piece of equipment at risk of being destroyed. In gold mining, time is money, and without that plant, there would be no gold, no profit. Tony Beets couldn't afford to wait. With two massive front-end loaders, the crew launched a high-stakes rescue mission. The plan was straightforward but perilous: attach chains, lift the plant carefully, and set it back upright without causing further damage. A single mistake could destroy crucial components, turning a costly mishap into an outright catastrophe. Mike, leading the effort, jumped into one of the loaders. The tension in the air was suffocating. One wrong move, and they could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. At first, the plant refused to budge, but inch by inch it began to rise. Every pull of the chain was a gamble, every adjustment a test of skill. Finally, with a final, gut-wrenching effort, the plant dropped back onto its base. The damage was assessed: dents, scratches, bent supports, but miraculously, the crucial components remained intact. The plant could still run. There was no time to celebrate. The crew secured the equipment and resumed the journey, this time with extreme caution. What should have taken hours stretched into 8 grueling, nerve-wracking hours. At long last, the Kiwi wash plant reached Dominion Creek. Mike had saved the season. But the experience changed him. He realized that no job in gold mining is ever routine. The entire business could be lost in a heartbeat, and a single broken link, literal or figurative, could cost them everything. Gold mining wasn't just about digging holes and running sluice boxes. It required precision, caution, and a willingness to take risks. And though Mike Beets had always been the man in the background, the one operating the machines while others took the credit, he had proven something vital. He was indispensable to the family. Kevin and Mona have gone their separate ways in the family's gold mining operation, but Mike has established himself as the crew's heavy machinery specialist, capable of taking on the most challenging tasks, moving anything large that needs to be transported, such as a multi-million-dollar wash plant, an Oshkosh truck, or a 40-ton crane, is Michael's responsibility. He is responsible for ensuring that the business continues to operate, even though he is intelligent. His fortune pales in comparison to his father's. Like many Beets, mine worker Mike began at the bottom and has been there since he was 13, while his father established an empire. Mike learned how to handle the everyday grind of life on a gold claim, including operating heavy machinery and carrying big weights. He is currently among the game's top operators. The problem is that his net worth is merely $200,000. That's a mere 2% of Tony's enormous fortune. Mike still has a lot to prove. Even though his older brother Kevin is worth $2 million, the Beets family is different from other mining teams. This is a family history based on risk, perseverance, and a little bit of luck, rather than a company with boardrooms and investors. After relocating from the Netherlands to Canada, Tony had a dream. He made a gold mining company out of that desire. Along the way, he made sure his children put in just as much effort as any other worker. That meant spending long hours in the cold, getting up early, and performing the most difficult tasks for Mike by his late teens. He was operating heavy equipment, moving dredges, and maintaining multi-million-dollar instruments like a pro in actuality. Though Tony Beets remains in command, Mike is still carrying on his father's legacy, although Kevin and Monica have assumed more significant leadership positions. Although he is a popular, talented, and one of Team Beets' top machine workers, he is not the company's manager. This implies that his income is still comparable to that of a miner and lower than that of a business owner running a group. The size of Team Beets and mining are not inexpensive. Mike earns roughly $500,000 per season, or $25,000 per Gold Rush episode. Although it's a respectable wage, Tony's earnings from the company itself still far exceed it. He earns money working in a mine in his free time, but it isn't quite as excellent as what his brothers and father make when they make decisions. A gap is seen. Mike is still putting in a lot of effort on the ground, but Kevin and Monica are in charge of my business side. Although Mike is well known for his involvement with Gold Rush, most people are unaware of his other interests. When he's not transporting gold-rich earth across the Yukon, he engages in full combat. Medieval combat, real sword fights took place. Mike enjoys acting out medieval scenarios, so he dons a 60-pound suit of armor and engages in actual UAL nightly combat. He differs from his family because of his favorite activity, while Mike is just as passionate about mining by day and nightly battling by night. Tony and Kevin are completely devoted to mining. It's an intriguing distinction in the Yukon. He works as a machine operator, battling the elements to extract gold from the earth in his own time. However, he enjoys a whole other kind of excitement as he trains for sword fights. However, Mike and Tony don't always get along back in my world, even though they collaborate. There have been instances where tensions have arisen. A TRL abruptly shutting down was one of the worst things that occurred. Tony, who was always a strict employer, assumed Mike would immediately resolve the issue. When Mike stopped and explained he had been warned it wouldn't move, Tony wasn't pleased. He gave straightforward advice in mining. You just have to perform your job and don't make excuses. Mike has always been into that. Mike is intelligent, diligent, and skillful, and he is one of Team Beets' greatest machine operators. However, Mike is still displaying himself, in contrast to Kevin, who took the initiative as a leader. Mike only has a net worth of $200,000 compared to his father, or even his brothers. This is significantly less. However, why Mike is a worker, not a boss. He maintains the mine running, moves the large equipment, and operates the heavy machinery. But he is not the company's owner. This implies that while Tony and Kevin profit greatly from the sale of gold and commercial dealings, Mike continues to get miners' wages, which raises an important question. Will he ever be able to leave his father? Mining is costly, dangerous, and difficult to plan for in a single season. A squad may perform well or poorly. Tony has made a lot of money throughout the years by making wise decisions. Mike, however, continues to put in a lot of effort to manage the shows. That doesn't change the fact that he isn't useful in actuality. Mike usually takes the biggest chances if something goes wrong with the tools. It is his responsibility to fix, move, or retrieve them in terms of mishaps. The Beets team once came dangerously close to losing a sigh,